It's coming up on 6:30 on WKYT this morning. New details overnight on a third arrest in the murder of a Lexington pizza delivery driver.
Hear what a pilot had to say after making an emergency landing on a central Kentucky road.
And football season will be here before you know it, and we have an update on all the renovations at Commonwealth Stadium.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday, and it's so good to have you with us on WKYT this morning as we get set for the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It is Friday. That's good news. The somewhat not great news is that we're going to have a lot of rain chances.
Yeah, especially in the afternoons.
Yeah.
That's when you really have to watch out for that with the pattern that we've been having. And that will continue. Meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I hate to say it. Well, for some parts, because some of us have picked up 2 to 4 inches of rain. Some of us have seen plenty of rain. We just kind of need a break from it. Some of us haven't really seen that much. So it kind of depends on which one you are. I'll still take the rain because, man, my yard still needs it. The gardens around town still need it. 64 degrees in Frankfort. It just kind of puts a damper on your plans. That's really all it does. 66 in Lexington. A beautiful start this morning. Heading in toward the afternoon, you'll get a couple of rumbles of thunder, just like the past few days. Your weekend, though, Saturday looks just the same as today. But Sunday's a different story. That front gets a little bit closer, just kind of hangs out for a while. I'll show you how long we can stay with this wet pattern. We can get a few days that'll be dry coming up in a few minutes.
We'll see you then. Let's get right to the news.
Well, new this morning, police have made a third arrest in the murder of a Lexington pizza delivery driver.
The victim, 22-year-old Salahuddin Jitmud, was found stabbed to death at an apartment on Trent Circle last month. WKYT's Hillary Thornton has picked up the arrest citation overnight, has been going through that. Hillary, what do we know now about this third suspect?
Good morning. Well, we've learned through that citation that this latest arrest, 22-year-old Trey Relford, did not know the victim, and Lexington police believe that he played several roles in the crime, including getting rid of some evidence. Relford joins Cameron McClellan and Antonio Lewis as suspects in the case. Late last night, we picked up the arrest citation for Relford, who is now charged with murder, first-degree robbery, and tampering with physical evidence. Investigators believe Relford was involved in the intentional death of Jitmud by means of a sharp object. Investigators also say that during the murder, property was stolen from the pizza delivery driver and that Relford helped dispose of evidence from the murder. Now, back in April, police say Jitmud was delivering pizza to an apartment complex on Trent Circle when he was robbed and stabbed to death. Police found the 22-year-old lying in the breezeway of the apartment. A little more than a week later, McClellan and Lewis were arrested and charged in the murder. Now, this latest arrest, Trey Relford, is scheduled to be in court later today here at Fayette County District Court for arraignment on those charges. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Hillary. New this morning, a surface miner has died in an accident in Pike County. State police say the worker was killed while on the John at Apex Mining in the Phelps community. The person's name has not been released. Federal authorities are investigating the deadly accident.
Also new at this hour, several agencies are searching right now for a missing autistic teenager. Dispatchers in Washington County say the 19-year-old walked away from his home a little after 10 last night. Local and state police are searching right now in the Mays Creek Road area north of Springfield. We're making calls out of our newsroom and we'll update the story throughout the morning.
More suspects accused of being involved in the theft of some rare Kentucky bourbon are due in court today. State police say members of an alleged crime ring stole more than $100,000 worth of bourbon from 2 Kentucky distilleries. Several people have been indicted in the case. We will be in court for today's arraignments, and we'll have updates online and on WKYT News at noon. Also happening today, sentencing is scheduled for a man charged in a Lexington murder case. In 2013, Joel Searcy carjacked an 81-year-old man and threw him out of the car. That man later died from his injuries.
We have just learned, just coming into our newsroom now, that Matt Bevin will hold a news conference at 10 o'clock this morning in Frankfort. His announcement comes a day after state election officials say there are no changes to the vote totals from Kentucky's Republican primary for governor. A review of absentee ballots and tallies from electronic voting machines confirms that Bevin leads State Agriculture Commissioner James Comer by 83 votes. But Comer could still challenge the results in court and ask for a recount. He has until the end of the day to ask a judge to order that. That would be expensive, and Comer would have to pay for it himself. The State Board of Elections will not certify the results until June 8th. Again, Matt Bevin to hold a news conference at 10 this morning. We're, of course, on the air with our mid-morning newscast at that point, and so we'll update you then. Yesterday's review appeared to end one of the closest elections in state history. It sets up a race between Bevin and Democratic Attorney General Jack Conway in a rare off-year election that serves as a precursor to the 2016 presidential contest.
A pilot who made an emergency landing on a Kentucky road says it was all just part of his training. Robert Kinnean landed his small plane on Highway 555 just north of the Bluegrass Parkway in Washington County. He was flying from Indiana back home to South Carolina when he started to have engine trouble 5,500 feet in the air. With some quick thinking, he avoided what could have been a tragedy.
It started running just slightly rough, so I did the first thing you normally do. I didn't think I was going to make it, to be honest with you.
Kinnean, who has been a pilot for more than 30 years, said he could not make it to the nearest airport, and the highway was the closest landing strip.
Well, fortunate for him, and certainly good work in landing that plane.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend in Lexington. It's the last day of school in Fayette County. High school graduations get underway tonight.
And the graduations will be at Rupp Arena, and that is just one of the events happening this weekend. It is going to be busy downtown. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Lexington with what other potential traffic impact we should be aware of. Hey, good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. There will also be a very large bike event that will take off from the court complex over on North Limestone Street. Now, if you want to avoid traffic trouble, you may want to start planning ahead. Traffic is expected to start picking up at 4 o'clock this afternoon and will likely remain heavy through tomorrow afternoon. Now, to help you navigate through the streets of busy downtown, we have a full list of all the events going on so you can plan around them. Now, the first of those 5 high school graduation ceremonies at Rupp Arena will start this afternoon. The ceremony for Lafayette High School seniors will be at 4 p.m. Tonight at 7, students at Tates Creek will also graduate. On Saturday, graduations are starting at 10 a.m. with Bryan Station High School. Then at 1 o'clock, Henry Clay High School will graduate. At 4, Paul Lawrence Dunbar seniors will start their ceremony. Now, those graduations aren't the only thing that could slow traffic. That Bike Lexington event will kick off their event with activities at the Courthouse Plaza at Main Street in Limestone at 8 on Saturday morning. Then at 10, their family bike rides will take off. One area where things may start to move really slowly could be between North Limestone and Upper Street as construction crews continue to work on that new 21C hotel development. Now, add on to all of that, the rain that we're expecting in this forecast. That rain is expected to fall during many of these events, so you can also expect some slick roads that could slow you down. So if you have the time, you may want to start thinking ahead and adding a few extra minutes into your drive. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much, but an exciting time for those graduates, and we wish them all the best. 6:37 now on WKYT this morning, and a gym in downtown Lexington is closing all of a sudden. The West Main Street facility of LA Fitness will close for good at 2 o'clock this afternoon. If you're a member of the gym, you can still go to one of their other 2 Lexington locations. This morning, we don't know why the gym decided to close, but various concept drawings for the Centerpoint project showed the gym as part of the project.
A Lexington woman's working on reclaiming her life with a new prosthetic leg. 18 months ago, Lisa Schaefer was riding her bicycle in the bike lane along Winchester Road when a truck driver turned right, pinning her underneath the wheels. 70 days in the hospital and 10 surgeries later, she made the difficult decision to amputate her right leg. Now she is in the process of getting fitted for a prosthetic leg that allows her to do everything she did before the accident.
You don't know how wonderful it is. I never knew how much I love music until after this accident, because knowing it was almost taken away from me.
Lisa's new prosthetic leg costs $35,000. Along with bike riding, she also plays the cello for the Lexington Philharmonic Orchestra.
Well, starting this season, Kentucky will have 3 permanent opponents in basketball. The Southeastern Conference tweaked its schedule format this week. Previously, Kentucky only alternated home courts with Florida. UK will now play home-to-home with Florida, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. So that means the Cats will be going to Knoxville and to Nashville every year, and the Commodores and the Vols will be coming here to Lexington every year as well. And football season is just about 3 months away, and construction continues on Commonwealth Stadium.
Pieces of the synthetic turf were laid yesterday. It'll take about a month to install the playing surface. Each piece comes in 5-yard strips and must be sewn and glued together before being anchored to the ground. The new recruiting room is also taking shape just above where the Wildcats will enter the stadium on game days. The first game is September 5th.
Be here before you know it.
Yep.
You know, exciting times.
All right, let's check to see how traffic is moving this morning.
Let's go out to Officer Don and check on live drive traffic and see what's happening out there as we roll towards 640. Hey, Don.
Hey, it's quiet this morning. There are no wrecks in the way, and it looks like lighter than normal traffic inbound Nicholasville Road coming in from Jessamine County at the moment. Same deal on Clays Mill between Jesse Clark and Lexington Catholic. We're not seeing our normal backups in that area, so we're in good shape. As you get a live look at Harrodsburg Road, and you can see traffic coming through the crossover past the circle. That's all headed toward Lane Allen and downtown. On the Waze map, live drivers are on the way in, but they're reporting us trouble-free on Richmond Road because we always watch Richmond and New Circle. Also, we can see Winchester Road looks okay. There's a stalled car on the interstate over to the side that someone's reported, but that's really not blocking traffic. And to the left, we can see downtown looks good on Main and Vine Street, even Old Frankfort Pike inbound. It's all steady. So we'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, and those early rays of sunshine looked really nice out there this morning as well.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so remember that this afternoon's when those potential storms roll back in.
Yeah, it seems like you just have to permanently have that umbrella at your side. Well, we have a lot more news on the way.
Coming up, a husband and wife in Michigan have found their true soulmates.
Find out how the duo pair up in the front 9 coming up.
And the look outside is beautiful this morning. As we head toward the afternoon, we get another shot at a few rumbles of thunder, and then your weekend forecast is kind of half and half. And I'll explain which day is going to be dry and which day is going to be pretty wet coming up in a few minutes.